that's here on earth right now. And I'm not going to be taking myself away from my knowing omnipresence state of being to become some fucking African American. And both of those names is names created by white people. And I know that. So, fuck you very much. Not interested.
Lomax asks Dr. Hedgeman to explain why.
Of these forces, these groups in Harlem are now preaching something of a nationalist gospel. They are saying that the American Negro should, in a sense, identify himself with Africa. How do you feel about this?
I feel, again, this is the temper of the world today. Everybody is looking for something which belongs to him. And this is the thing that the American Negro looks for. He wanted it to be America, because he's the most American of any group here.
Why doesn't he identify with America?
America has never permitted, thou shalt not this, thou shalt not that, reserved for whites only. Remember? You should ask me this.
That's what I say. That's the only thing you can guarantee the white man will do. That is, say no and deny. He is so limited. There is never enough of anything. We never have enough. It rains like hell, trees grow like herb, chickens everywhere, food everywhere. We got a big country, no farming going on. And then you got to go and pay 90 cents for one freaking tomato, okay? It's all because the white man is in control. And all he knows how to do is be oppressive and greedy and stagnant. And no is who he is. Imagine being a child with a parent that always says no to you all your freaking life. I mean, think about that. And he ain't even a parent. He's a fucking intruder. He's a criminal. He's someone who has broken into my home, tied me up, and I got to sit around and watch him utilize all my commodity, rape my daughters, have my wife, and all this old shit. And then at the same time, he want me to look at him as something good and godly. And I can't wait to get free so I can cut his throat. And that wife of mine who's enjoying the shit. It's just sad as hell.
Question?
Well, do you feel that the American Negro is an African?
Of course he's part African.
But he's in part something else.
Oh, he's many other things. He actually, you know, he's the real American.
Then why,
he's some of everything.
Then why isolate Africa to identify with? Why not identify with some other source of one's culture?
Because the largest portion of him is African.
And there you have it. Tragic and irrefutable evidence that a small but growing segment of the American Negro population is giving ear to a flagrant doctrine of black supremacy.
That's not true, because if that was true, what would have been going on for him to justify that is that there should be buildings burning down and there should be dead bodies lying around everywhere. See, black supremacy is something that no black person has ever had the time to open their mouth and try to suggest. Black supremacy is a universal principle. When you look at the black sky at night, or when you look at the black soil, or if you think about the black inner recesses of the female vagina, that speaks for itself as being abiding and forever. It's these white ass faces of these Caucasians that want to come out here and create some white supremacy through violence. They want to create a need to try to smoke screen everything, trying to say somebody want to be black supremacy. Okay, I'll tell your white ass something. When you go into that black grave, you will see how supreme blackness is. And the grave is just going to look at you and say, I am that I am. I didn't have to front for nobody. Please believe that shit. Because you're probably there already. It's probably already made a believer out of your ass.
I think that we stated our basic convictions about the matter when we entitled this program, The Hate That Hate Produced. Even so, it is still hate, organized hate. Before asking our panel what can be done about the rising tide of black supremacy movements, I'd like to talk for a minute with my colleague Lou Lomax, who did the research and the interviews for this story. Lou, you've written for such magazines as The New Leader, The Nation, Pageant. As a staff writer for the Chicago American, you covered the school integration disputes in Clinton, Tennessee, and Sturgis Clay, Kentucky, Little Rock. How would you compare this assignment with others that you've been on?
Mike, this one was a little rough. Whenever you are covering a story that involves the emotions of people, there's always an element of danger. This is the first time I think my color's ever been in my favor rather than against me, but on the whole I would say that this assignment was a little rough.
Rough in what sense?
Well, let me give you a couple of instances. The night we did the piece on the Harlem street corner where you heard Mr. Davis and the phony liberals bit, I I had with me the camera crew and Dan Meenan and Sandy Goodman of our staff. All of them are white. We were, in a sense, menaced. They were called bad names. I was called a dirty, no-good nigger who brought the people up to spy, this kind of thing. A crowd gathered, and we were a little bit apprehensive. In Washington, for the Muslim rally, I was all right. The camera crew, again, was white. They were in a little bit of danger, and one or two times the cameraman wandered away from the camera, and some of the Muslims came up to me and said, "You are responsible for these white men, and we don't want them running around loose. You better go with them wherever they're going."
As you see it, Lou, why is it that some Negroes, these Negroes we've been talking about tonight, have returned hate for hate, while others have not?
Well, I think one of the reasons is that the Christian notion of turning the other cheek has stuck. This is one reason why the Muslims must undo Christianity, so to speak, if they are to succeed. And in recent advancements in race relations, from the integrationist point of view, these advancements have justified the sober-minded Negro's faith. Then there is this, Mike. We Negroes have invested quite a bit in America. It's not my fault that we're here, and it's not your fault as a white man that the race problem exists. America was born with a race problem, and we've helped to eliminate it. Our backs have borne a great deal of the burden, and the general feeling is that America is on the upbeat, that we're going up, that our country is getting better, and I see no point in turning our backs upon America now. It's like pushing the wagon up the hill and then refusing to ride down. And I think this is the attitude of most Negroes. I hope so, anyway.
Thank you, Lou, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Well, there is our story and our reporter's comment on it. But the ultimate burden of all of this...
Here's the problem. They get the luxury of picking who they want to interview and pretty much editing what they release to the public. So it's going to always be biased. So he could say that's it or whatever, but it's not biting. It's just rhetoric. That's all it is. It's just rhetorical. So thanks for watching. I just wanted you all to understand and see from my point of view how far back we go with having to combat this arrogance and this ungodly presence on our earth known as just sheer evil. The evildoers that we know as devils, they never cease. That's the reason why you will see the weather patterns and the green lights. Know this, there will be green lights to sustain my claim that my sister Bastet is the one that's blowing up all these factories, blowing up these barges, causing all these tornadoes, causing this water, causing all this electricity to burn up all these houses, as a way to let you guys know this earth belongs to the melanated man and woman, even those dumbass ones in the Christian churches who are going to be eradicated by the elemental forces also for failure to pay heed to the warning of God. The real overall encompassing God, Asar, has come all the way through the universe to warn you guys. Judgment Day is here. Okay? Get your shit together. All you guys that's in love with that phony ass false white man religion and has caused all the damage on this earth, you stick with that religion, you're going down with the people that's going down with it. You have been warned. You better be waking up the true God self inside of you so you could be able to have some type of strength to get through these hard times that these devils has put on this earth. All of you people who's rise with that devil is only going to have one job, and that is going to be to fight these elemental forces, which is God, coming to kill the intruder. Know that. It's in Europe too. It's going to get worse. Some things just speak for themselves. We already know this is Wales. The UK floods hundreds of homes underwater as deadly storm hits England. This is just the beginning.
I'm so glad I parked at the front today. That's coming fast. Should we move our cars at the front of the building and just go? Like, it's not going to take much. Because look at it, it's just coming fast.